We'll look at the book Isaiah, chapter 55, verses 6 through 7. Isaiah 55, verses 6 through 7. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. I would like us to think in terms of profession of Christ without life. In other words, as we say, a lot of talk about Christ, but they have nothing to really show for it. When we look back in our Bibles, especially in the Old New Testament, to the gospel being preached into many quarters of that world at the time, we sometimes would assume that they had in front of them scrolls and they had before them notes, but they had none of those things. Most of the people who listened, all they had to do, they just listen to the gospel as proclaimed by the speakers who came to them. It took quite a while for Paul to write letters to the church at Rome, the church of Galatia, the Corinthian church, and other churches, as he started work there and to correct problems and also to give them guidance. He sent them letters. We live in an age when we have a lot of churches around, and we have a lot of Bibles around. We have a lot of Bible study groups around. We have a lot of prayer groups around. We have retreats, we have camps, a lot of these things around in our time. Seminars, and a lot of good preaching by many preachers out there. And we have many who claim to be born again. But we live in a time when, in spite of all that we have and we claim, we have less practice of godliness among some of our people, in the midst of all the things that we have to praise God with. As a matter of fact, in some churches, you have a hypocrisy in that they say something, but they don't really mean it. You talk about love. They love quite well, but who do they love? Question they must ask. When that word love was used, there are several words in the Greek language for love. We didn't really go to them. But talking about people who are Christians, it was unqualified, just love people. Not everybody who comes to church will be able to give you a suit, a new dress, a new this, a new that, a gift. No. There are people who cannot afford these things, but they'll come to your church. And there are church people who will come to your church and make big gifts for you, as I talk about our sister with the pants. And there are others who will do many other things. The question, when you love, who do you love? There are those who have a kind of love for only those who will give me something. But they don't care about anybody else. But the love of Christ is a caring love. You've got to care for people who can't even help you. You've got to reach to people's need who can't even do nothing for you. Because it's not how much you're looking at what you do, but you're doing it in the name of Christ. And what the Lord promised, that He'll bless us. Nothing we do for God. It's just like it's lost you. No, you sow the seeds. And let me tell you what they'll really reap, the harvest. And I can say quite well, a lot of missionaries came to this land. They work hard in this land. And they saw little souls like me and others here in Trinidad. And they work with us. They gave many of our people scholarships to go to Barbados Baptist College. And when you see how much went to Barbados College from Trinidad, paid for by the Americans, and see what we get out of those who came out of college, how much today who's standing up and proclaim this will tell you, I was in Barbados Baptist College. It's sad. But they love the Lord. Mind you, they love the Lord. And to see how many now man the churches, because our churches, the growth is very small. You have the partner on that the furthest point there, near the northern end of the island there. And then you have, of course, Valley was a mother church. But then you have Rich Plain. And that end of our three churches there on that side. Then you come to Monte Grand. And then you have, of course, Santa Rosa. And that's where we are with the Baptist work. In the Southern Baptist churches. And even among the Southern Baptist churches, one of the brothers who was sent to Barbados Baptist College, and who was paid for both him and his wife at the college by the American Express, and do everything for them. That brother is in church there at Valley now. I know what Valley Church is called now, Valley Kingdom Ministries. A church, the first Baptist church built in this island by the Southern Baptist Convention. With their money, they bought the land. With their money, they built the church. And today it is called Valley Kingdom Ministries. And who pastored? A proud Trinidad. I wonder in heaven how you can take a church organized. The church is not just organized, but the church is also registered. And you call that church re-registered as Valley Kingdom Ministry. How do you get it done? But you got it done. So I mean, you have when you look back, these people put out a lot of money. Because all these properties, like the Grand Baptist property, we didn't have any money to build the property. They bought it. And they set us up. They bought all the properties that they have churches today. They bought the property with their money. That is the Americans. And all of us who came through, they helped us. Some of us came from little tracts like myself and others, and little Norway. They took us, they run classes, and they helped us. And when you look, where are the people standing up now? Some of us are so on fire when these people are around. They are gone now. Where else? You can look and check on your hands how many standing to. So you had the profession, the good testimonies. You had those who love the Lord and those who talk for the Lord and die for the Lord. But all the time they get it on that way is because they have before them these American missionaries listening. And many times you ask who they were impressing. The missionaries, or they try to impress God. When they were impressing God, the missionaries God will continue. But they were trying to impress the missionaries. But they're just people. They had their failures like anybody else. But they helped us. Every day I come to this pulpit, I'm eternally grateful that the missionaries, Southern Baptist missionaries, helped me from obscurity, you could say, a nobody, or known to so many, and helped me in church. In spite of all my failures, they work with me. They work with me, a work in progress. And you know, when you know what you're trying to get, you will take a rough piece of wood, but a sculptor working with that, or even a good man that knows what the craft, his craft, will take that rough wood and produce from it a beautiful furniture, a beautiful vase or something. That's what you get from people who know what they're looking for. Think about what God does with us. God takes that crude material and God works it for His glory. You meet a lot of The hardest people to love us is we ourselves. You know, I was talking, just sitting in the party there, enjoying the party, but as the girl was near to me, I asked her. I was a young girl. I saw her first at Pastor Shiller's church. The girl had zeal. She's young. Working with leading choruses for her Lord and everything else. So I asked her today, I said, where are you worshiping now? She said, I don't go to church. That shocked me. Whatever happened to her in her church, it come like an electric bolt that hit me. That is still trouble her heart. And at a young age, she tells me she doesn't go to church. You know, my prayer to her was, I pray to God that you'll find a church that you love and you'll feel comfortable in and worship your God again with the same zeal you have. Do you know the amount of people in this land that are disappointed with church? Because they got hurt in church. And let me say this, it's not only people in the pew get hurt. I was a young minister out there. Our church made progress. And I see some devils who come in as church people hurt me. But they tried not only to hurt me, but to destroy. But in spite of all, I'm here. I'm here. And one of the brothers who was the chief cook, because he was standing 6 feet and was working Amoco. I was in a program out in the south. And they pushed a wheelchair in front of me, and I see something leaning, so you know, a human being on the chair, leaning this. And when they called the name, here's him. I said, what is man? When you have health, and you have strength, and you have a position, you feel you're on top of the world, but you're just a man. The same God who put you up will bring you back down. And that's for all of us. And believers, our journey was not easy all the way. God never promised it to be easy. But the fact is, Jesus said, I'll go with you. I'll go with you to the end. To the end. Up the hill, down the hill, this way, that way, through the struggles, but He's going with us. You think I ever dream in my heavens I'll be at Monte Grande? I was born in Pili Valley, Diego Martin area, Forest. Then moved to Pili Valley, grew up there. So my whole thinking has always been between Pili Valley and Diego Martin. Never beyond that. And you know my first ministry was in Rio Claro. Never dreaming I'll get out there. I had no power to negotiate with the people about the union about being there. I was asked last, will you pastor a church out there? I said yes. And that's how I got out there to pastor church. The Americans decided, they did everything and they asked me. Why did they do that? They had the confidence that a young man in their church that they had invested in training and teaching for all those years will be able to do the work. And of course, that wasn't hard because we did the work. But then you read all those pundits who knows everything about God and they know everything about religion, they know they're holy, that they rest in heaven last night. But one thing they don't know, how to love people. And you come out, I've been with a lot of ministers through this land. There are some ministers, the best place to meet them is in church. Preach lovely sermons. Oh, they pray lovely prayers. They have no home life, some of them. They treat their wife like dogs. Fight the woman, beat she up. She's ashamed to stand up in a crowd to talk about them. Who should be good examples? A pastor's wife talked to me a time because I went to the church and I just made a few remarks about home in the sermon. She said, you know, I would like if you could try to let my husband invite you to go and talk about family life. I said, no, you like that? And she said, yeah, easy, you know. Well, can I say no? Well, you know, have my wife here. We have an almost always agreed in every point. We have quarreled many times. And my wife could quarrel quite well. Very, very well. And I could quarrel quite well. Very well. So we disagree. But we have a daughter here. She'll witness a lot of it because I was living Toko and they're living, so we live together. But as your children will tell people about who the father was, the wife doesn't go say my husband was a good man, because most of the time the wife say my husband was a good man, except the few wives who say the husband was a devil. I talked to a man one day and asked him what about his wife. He said, my wife was the wife the devil need with his foot. I stopped right. I've never heard it expressed that way. The wife, the devil need with his foot. So not really hand, no, foot. I've heard it said about bad husbands, but I'll tell you this. The wife will say, her husband not easy, and how he acts with her. But she's in church with him, and he preaches love very well. She's very eloquent, very good. He knows the text, man. What Isaiah said, what this one say, and that and that and that. But you know what he missed? The text of love. How you love people. Exactly. Your children, man, there are little people, little pastors' children, time to get a chance, they just go on from the church. You say, well, your father was a pastor, he did that, how they got so? Because some of them see no examples of movement. But examples speak louder than words. That's all. Examples speak louder than words. If I was some person who was involved in all kind of violent actions or cussing around the place, the best person would know my daughter. My wife, my partner, my wife, my daughter. But she's the best at telling about her father. I wasn't a saint, just a human being, but the fact is, I see so many out here parading. No love. You come in the ministry, and sometimes when you come like in a battle zone. You go to fight the battle. You go because God lay upon your heart a task that you can do. And may I tell you, God is always useful to bless you. You see Dr. Warren? Well, most of you know Dr. Warren died recently. So that's one trillion who is gone. That man helped a lot of us to see ministry. My first trip to Antigua, even St. Martin, paid for Dr. Warren, exposing me. Go to New Jersey, Dr. Warren, paid for the trip, everything for me to come, to be exposed to good, the teachings and the settings, camps, situation. I learned. And what he asked of me, nothing. Now he's human. So this man putting out his money, and this and invite, pay for me to come. I remember the last thing when he went was Philadelphia we were going. So I was in New York for some purpose. And he waited for me aboard a bus at 3 o'clock. And by 9 o'clock in the night, we arrived in Philadelphia, and who was waiting at the bus stop? With a white preacher, Dr. Warren. And I was glad to come out the bus, get retrieve my suitcase, and they take it away, put it in their van, and off to the house. This man was a blessing. They had witnesses, of course he had, plenty of witnesses. But he never forsake us, especially those of us from Trinidad. He had a whole group from Antigua all over the place, St. Lucia. But you remember his Trinidad people. The name Gil, the name Mills, the name Budran, Rajnak, and Dr. Warren looked out for all of us. And whenever he landed in this country, He always come to Montreal to preach. If it's one church, he'll preach at his Montreal Baptist Church. At times he stopped preaching at Good Rams Church because the way they believe certain things he doesn't believe. He preached at Montreal. Then we gave him to Mills, to Mitchell. He's gone now. But he had a love for us in the ministry. But there are people who encourage him. Look, Dr. Bentley. I didn't know Dr. Bentley. Dr. Bentley Thomas. As a matter of fact, when I first heard the name, I thought it was a white man. I heard about his preaching on all the things that happened around him. And Pastor Ryan was telling me, oh, he's a good man, you know. Oh, there's that. I listened. And one day Dr. Buram called me and said, Pastor Gary, Dr. Bentley is here, come. I'd like you to come. So I went to his church. I saw Dr. Bentley. And I saw another preacher. I was shocked because I was looking for a white man. And you know Dr. Bentley, he pastored here, right? And he was inviting them to come to Virgin Islands for his regular conference. But then when he gave everybody tickets, he watched at me. He said, will I come? I said, yes. He said, how much can you raise? I said, well, at least half. He said, all right, take my name. By the time a month come, because it was January, conference the last week in May. Early, a ticket came for me. When I got to St. Thomas, to the conference, it was a great conference. All over the United States. They filled the place. And Dr. Bentley, busy like a bee. I walk with this month of money to get a man, and the man busy. A voice say, go back over the money, man. A voice tell me to, you can't come quite here with the man money and go back home. So I'm watching at him. And then I see him going into his office. As he going into his office, I went right into his office. I said, Dr. Bentley, I know you're very busy with me. And I walk on the office one time. But he know what that means. That's like half that I from school. You see, you have to have some integrity about you. People must be able to rely upon you. You tell them something, they have to have confidence in what you tell them. Whenever you are a person leading in these kind of missions, and you tell a person stand up, and they wait till you there, and you ain't even sure. You know what that is? Yeah. You know, in life, you can't do it with everybody. Tell them wait till you here and you ain't sure. When I was a little boy going to town with my stepmother, we go to the market on Charlotte Street those days, it was there. And she will walk with me all over the place and they help me up with a bag and put me staff in a position with a bag by my feet. She said, ever switch from here. And she go on all over this and I just had to stop. So. Like a statue. Then she comes down, she takes me down, we go on. She might put my next point where she find the safe again. Wait for me here. You know the amount of wait for me here I had it. I was so glad when I was big enough. I could go by myself, I had to wait for me here, I could go over it. But I had to wait. But believers in this ministry, you had to wait on the Lord. You can never run before God. That is, He allows you to run as He wants you to run. But you have to wait on Him. He leads the way. When somebody leads, you have to follow. And God will lead you. Don't mind always discouraging people to talk. Oh, you pass, talk. Oh, you ain't good, you ain't it, you ain't that. Criticism, this and that. All kind of criticism. My father was no book man, that is, he was no learned man. My father was born in the island of Grenada. Fully educated, came to Trinidad. I have two children, my mom, myself and my sister. My father told me he said, Evers, I never had the opportunity to go to school much, but I want you to learn. So you will learn what I didn't know. He sacrificed hard. He sent me to high school and everything else. Why? I should learn. And every day I learn, I remember the words of my father. I want you to learn. I never had a chance to learn. So you know what I mean for my children? Our children, I would not dare have my children ignorant. You had to learn. My daughter and I was speaking one day. She talked to me about children. Now we're discussing children. I my daughter tell me about children. I one day was listening to my daughter, but it's somebody else. But again, that's learning. You learn so much about it that you can tell somebody about the problems that they have, the this and that, especially in these when you come into these areas. And that's what every family wants. But let me say this to you. That the God that you and I serve, He ever teaches us to be good and to be better. And until He brings us to the jewel that He wants in us. But you must have word. A member invited me to come to Miracle many years ago to a Thanksgiving. When I left here, no, I was not in the church anymore, but she had at her home. So I was going to Thanksgiving. My car gave me a little trouble along the way. No? I had a wagon, and I was traveling the back of Tabaki there. After a while, I have no lights. But in the moonlight, no police much in the road. I just driving, no lights. And I drove until I saw some men packed by the roadside. I told the men, I said, you know something, I'm going to recline. But I have no lights. Men say, okay, Reverend, put it in. They fix that for me. And they connect me up. And I had lights after that. On to the place. I reached the place 8 o'clock. You know what she said when I arrived? She said, I know you was coming. So she was quite in real time. And she invited me to that service. But she told me when I arrived, I know of your coming. I know what that based upon. The years that we dealt together, she could back my word. If I say I'll do something for you, I go on all ends to get it done for you. If I say I'm not with it, you could bet your life I am not supporting. That's the way I operate. And I think that's the best way for me. But that's the way I learned even from home. And my stepmother used to tell me, do not join other people to do evil. So that means I ain't joining with nobody to tolerate this one and to cry down that one and to go and hurt that one because you don't like it. That's your business. My job is to be different. And God calls us to be different. And believers, check our life. And it will surprise you. The amount of people who are greatly disappointed with churches. And not just in church building, pastors. They realize for the first time that their pastor cares about nobody but himself. You have a family coming to this church living about, 5 minutes drive or 2 minutes drive from their church, where they belong to. And they travel so much miles and come here to worship. Why? Their pastor don't really care about them. He will even speak to them because they disagree on something. Cut them off from our leadership lines in the church because he had the power to do so. Woman leader of the women's group, man, the husband, leader of the men's group, and he cut them off. Has the power to do so. You question that looks simple, but that looks easy. You kind of discourage the family. And then make it worse again, his daughter like your son. Oh Lord. Trouble again. And both of them together, all of them in the family. But one class, okay, they're better than that and better than this. And the next thing that shows itself a high in our churches too, race. Race will always be a problem in the world. Always be a problem. Either white and black or black and black. Whatever shades of black. In Trinidad we have Indian Negroes, we have Negroes. But if you have to love people, You just have to love people. You know, we have a fruit tree there. A Julie mango tree. That tree bears beautiful mango. I know what it does? It feeds birds. Does the tree determine what birds come to eat? Whosoever will may come. So when you look up there, you're surprised to see a lot of different birds eating. The mango tree not worried about it. You even find rats going to eat you. I never knew rat was so interested in hard mangoes. But they're going to eat too. So you know, whosoever may come, yes. But sometimes we now, who God appoints and blessed to do his work, we watch him. I find too much of Chinese come here. I find too much Indian come here. I find too much Negro come here. Me and one someone to dinner, we cut it down. We only want to cut down.